Hello everybody, and welcome back to my channel. Last week when I was doing my grungy tag for grungy tag challenge 2026 last week, I promised you I would do a flip through of my latest finished journal. Some of the tags from that challenge is actually inside this journal as well, so you'll probably recognize some of them. But yeah, this is a journal I have been creating over a long period of time, with a kit that I've had for a while as well. It was Nature's Remedies, it's called, and the kit was a collaboration with Love Junk Journals, that's Tracie Fox and ArtyMaze, Andrea. So yeah, that's the main kit that I've used inside this journal. So I shall give you a tour. I'll give you some measurements first. The journal measures 6 inches, well, just under 6 inches wide by just under 8.5 tall, and has about 2.5 inch spine, so quite a wide spine for this one. And I've made it's a hard back journal. I've made it with some grey board, and I've covered the grey board with some packing paper, the type that you get from Amazon. You know, that packing paper that comes in huge amounts inside your parcels. Yeah, I've added coffee to it and some water, which gave these wonderful watermarks on it. So yeah, I just sprayed with coffee, dried, and then added water afterwards, and it created this effect. So it's all around the journal there. But yeah, I just love the effect of that. The image on the front is taken from a page in the kit, or it could have been, there was multiple freebies along on the Facebook pages and such like as well, and this could be one of them. My memory depletes me on that because, like I say, it is a few years ago when this kit was created. So yeah, I die cutted 2 circles. The inner circle has been embossed with some gold paint on the outside and clear embossed on the inside. That's been duplicated on the spine, a miniature version, and nothing on the back. There are some brass coloured rivets on all the corners. That helps to protect the journal and keep it together as well. Okay, for the closure, I've done a double closure here. I've done this before, and I find it's a good option when you're using tags and things, because then your closure, which, you know, majority of the time we put in the middle, often hinders page tabs and things. So doing a double closure like that means you've got more scope to excuse me, to add those tabs and not have them bent. So that's just a sand coloured seam binding there, brass coloured eyelets, and going in. So yeah, that's a page from the what's it called, Nature's Remedies kit. I mean, you'll probably remember it. It's quite a big kit. Andrea created a kit from, Andrea from ArtyMaze created a kit, and Tracie from Love Junk Journals created a kit, and they did this series on creating stuff with the kit. So I've created a lace pocket here, which I've put some vellum behind, which gives it that lovely crinkling sound. But it also protects from like tag snagging, you know, on lace, as it sometimes does, and it keeps the lace a lot straighter and rigid. There are some labels on the front there. Some of the labels in this journal are from Tracie Fox also. I've also used a lot of Tim Holtz as well. This is a journaling envelope with a journaling card, which is available in the kit. Nature's Remedies. And I've just added a little pull tag there because it can be quite, it is quite a tight fit. And I've stamped that using Tim Holtz stamps from the Curator kit of stamps. That tag is from Nature's Remedies. And this has been created using Tim Holtz cardstock with some holes punched through to show, I think they're Edith Holden images there, I think. But yeah, they're behind. And some Tim Holtz labels there. And some more crinkle seam binding, this time in green. But yeah, I've just done a little bit of sewing on there. I think I saw that idea from Carol Laws. This is a very poor example. She did a lot, you know, a much better job than me. That was my first attempt at it, but I think it looks okay. I mean, I go for sort of shabby, grungy type journals anyway, so it fits. And that's my excuse, and I'm sticking to it. So yeah, that's a page from the kit. These tags are also from the kit. I've not decorated most of the tags from the kit because they are beautiful in their own right, but I have concentrated on decorating the pockets. The paper for this pocket is from stuff I have in my stash. I've added some stamping and a little separate stamped image there of a flower, some Tim Holtz label, and some boo-boo tape. That's created by Margareth at Seven Plaza. She has a whole kit of faux sellotape shades, and brilliant if you print on clear sticker sheets. Then you've got your own. In fact, I've got a whole load of them here. Examples of them. There's like greens, oranges, you know, the thing. You just cut them out and stick them where you want. So that saves making them, although it is easy to make actually. Here is a book page from the Complete Herbalist. Here is some more elements from the kit. Here's a little folded journaling spot. And that belly band. And there is also another belly band on top, which holds another journaling card from the kit. That element is also from the kit, which I've embossed. And that's just lace there. See if I can get this on with my chubby fingers. The tiny little paper clips. And there's a closure here because this belly band opens up. And this is one of those picture frame things that holds in the backing kind of thing. I've just coloured it with some alcohol inks. And this opens up to reveal some pockets. There's some more images from the kit. Little tickets there are also from the kit. And I've just added a little notepad there, some extra journaling. That's just with some scraps of ledger that I've got, that I had. That just closes up there. Some coffee dyed paper and some coffee dyed note paper. I've added some more. These were journaling cards and I've just made them into very large tabs for these pages. There's some Tracie labels there. And I think there's a Tim Holtz one there too. That's a stamped image. There's some boo-boo tape, some stamping up there. Similar situation on the back. So I've sort of done the journaling tags back to back. There's another book page. That's from a Reader's Digest, Wildflowers of Great Britain, I think. Some more coffee dyed paper. Here we've got a file folder style pocket here, and I've got some images on the front just collaged onto that lace there. That actually lifts up to reveal that book page underneath. That could be covered covered, not cupboard. It's been a long day. That could be covered up with paper, and it could be a sort of hidden journaling spot. There's also a journaling card in that pocket. This one I've created myself. This little bit of vintage lace up there. The background's all created by myself. That's a stamped butterfly. There's just some collage elements. I think that bit there is from Tim Holtz. Some brass coloured brads. And another element there, which I had in my stash. Another page from Nature's Remedies. And here I've created a pocket. The background paper there is from one of Tim Holtz's papers. Don't ask me which. I have a few, and I've just made a sort of specimen slide sort of style pocket there, and some tea bag paper behind it, which gives it a semi-transparent look. And I've stamped a fern on there. There's just a little collage at the bottom there. There's a journaling card I created myself. It's just a woven book page. That's an idea for my next month's grungy challenge. I've just remembered that now. Okay, I've done a washi sticker on there with some other elements I had in my stash, and just a tab I put on there, and some sewing. And here I have a little envelope. It's a book page covered in tissue paper, which I added inks to, and also some sort of pen ink, gold pen ink, just to sort of give it that nice shine. Also sewn around, but it's German book page inside, and inside we've got a little faux tintype. Now I think it was Tracie Fox actually that did a demonstration of this. I think Angela Garcia did a video which inspired Tracie to make one too. I actually watched the Tracie video, which I'll link down below, and it just shows you how to put these together using alcohol inks and printing photographs on acetate. And there's kitchen foil involved there as well. But yeah, I'll let you watch the video to find out how those are made. Had loads of fun one afternoon with them. Here we have a centre pocket here, using Edith Holden papers, and it holds a large journaling tag, some paper from the kit, with added a faux floral sticker there, a washi sticker, with some Tracie labels and a Tim Holtz label, and some more boo-boo tape there, and there's a little leaf charm on the tab, and that's all sewn around, and journaling on the back. And it could be used as a writing board as well under journal pages. There's the other side of that paper. And here we have a pocket from Nature's Remedies, holding a book style tag in there. Some fluff. But yeah, I've just added a little hole reinforcer there with some fibres. I've just done a little bit of collaging at the top there. Some more papers from the kit, coffee dyed paper, and another book page from Reader's Digest, or is it's the other side of the previous one, and more note paper, this time with a tab on that I created. Some more coffee dyed paper. I've added a little stamp, floral stamp there. There's the other side of the Complete Herbalist book page. That background paper there is from the kit, as are these two. I have another little pocket here, made by myself from papers I have in my stash, and just a little collage on the front there with the vintage stamp, British stamp of the Queen from in about 1940s, 50s. That another stamp of a flower, just some bits of lace and paper, and this holds 2 journaling tags from the kit. There's some more seam binding there, different shades of green. More book page, more copy dyed, and here we have one of the tags that I made for the Grungy Tag Challenge. It is a large tag which I've made it into a belly band. Behind it there is an envelope which is you can make from the kit. It holds a journaling space inside. And that just pops in there. And this tag has some elements to it. It's interactive. It's got a flip up element there, if you just sort of see it. It's pretty plain, so you could journal on the back there. And we have 2 more flaps here, which also create some journaling spots. There is another tag inside, which is also another journaling spot. This is all Tim Holtz papers from the Wallflower. I've just added a little bit of decoration there with some stamps and things. There is a label at the bottom there. I think that's a Tracie Fox label there. That could be an ArtyMaze one. I've just added a little bit of collage to the front of that one as well, a little die cut. And the folds are covered in Tim Holtz fabric washi for extra strength. There's some grid paper there, coffee dyed. There's some more of that book page from Reader's Digest. Here is a pocket from the kit, which I've decorated with a little label I created myself from some vintage ledger. And here is a little tag there from the kit. Just added a eyelet. I'm doing well with my words today, aren't I? A little eyelet, and I've just added some yarns that I've sort of collect after sewing projects, and I've just mixed a few different colours there just to add a little bit of interest to the top there. So that's just threads. And there's a little image there stamped on coffee dyed paper. Some florals. Some more grid paper. Coffee dyed. Another page from the kit. A backing page from the kit. In the middle here we've got some more of these large tabs. And we've got some Tracie labels, Tim Holtz labels, die cut, and some more boo-boo tape. Again, mirrored on the back, same on this side. We've got Tracie labels, Tim Holtz label, Tim Holtz stamp. I think that's a Tim Holtz label, as is that. Some more die cuts, some more boo-boo tape, and so on. You get the idea. That background is from the kit. Some more paper from the kit. The other side of that grid paper. Here I've got a half hidden paper clip there. This has a little pocket with just a little card in. I created a while back, thought it went with the journal. And all these elements are from Tim Holtz, with the exception of the fabric pieces. And here we have an envelope from the kit on some coffee dyed paper. There is nothing inside the envelope, just left it free for the new owner to add whatever they like inside. There's some vintage stamps there which I've franked on. And a little collage there on the envelope with a little Tracie label. There's a fussy cut of a flower, no idea where that was from. A little bit of script at the back there and some more boo-boo tape. Just put that back on. There's another book page and the Reader's Digest, some more grid paper, coffee dyed, plain coffee dyed. Another book page from the Complete Herbalist. And a page from the kit. As are these two. I've created another pocket there, well, tuck this time, with a little collage on. And I think that's a Tracie label, a little stamped element that I've created myself. There's some boo-boo tape and a little bit of lace. It's holding two more tags from the kit. And some more little seam binding tufts there. Some more book page. Here we have another interactive element. It's actually an envelope which I've made into a belly band. There's just a little bit of tulle lace there. I've got a journaling spot behind from the kit. This envelope is held down by a round stamped element and holds a bookmark style tag inside, little metal eyelet, little tab which helps to pull it out of the envelope, faux washi sticker, a little bit of stamped on fabric and some Tracie labels there, and journaling space on the back. More coffee dyed. There's some coffee dyed scrap pieces of ledger there. Stamped on coffee dyed paper. Another floral image. Another page from the kit. Here we have a pocket from one of the kits. Like I say, there are two kits, one made from ArtyMaze and one made from Lodgent Journals. And as I said, if I've said, I'm not sure if I've said, but I probably won't be able to tell whose is whose. There's a little camouflage. I'm doing so well. A little collage of items there. Some stamped images on some script paper and some handmade paper and a ticket from the kit. And this is holding a little field note booklet, which is also available in the kit. I've just added some labels there from Holtz, a little bit of boo-boo tape, and it's just got some scrap paper inside, little page from the kit, and just some plain coffee dyed paper inside. There's some little bits of lace at the top and bottom there. Another book page, small coffee dyed. Here we have another centre pocket using Edith Holden papers, just beautiful, and holds another large journaling tag, or card should I say. There's just some script on the back there, which I think is from the Graphics Fairy, that one, a freebie. There's a flower fussy cut there, which I think is from a vintage book that I've got. There's some Tracie labels there with some more boo-boo tape. Just put a Holtz tab on there with a little flower charm on that one. Some more coffee dyed paper. More book page, Another page from the kit. Here we have another grungy tag here. Oops. I want to reveal it before I need to. But yeah, this was not the one I've just made, but the one before that, 3 of something. And so I did 3 pockets. One was obvious, and there's 2 that are hidden. So the obvious pocket obviously is here. There's just a little collage on the bottom, some Tim Holtz labels. And again, this is all using Tim Holtz papers from the Wallflower pack. There's a journaling card there, just done a little collage on the front there and some stamping. Some journaling on the back. And at the side we've got a hidden pocket. You can see how I made this tag in, if you look up that video from the Grungy Tag Challenge. There's just a journaling card in there, again Tim Holtz. Some potential journaling on the back. And this one in the centre. And that's double journaling there. Let's see if I can open this up again. It's basically made from an envelope, a DL size envelope. But like I say, how I made it is in a previous video. I think 3 of something was March. So it's March exact thing of the Grungy Tag Challenge. It's the March one there. And on the back, that was held on by that paper clip, which I've no idea where I've put now. Talk about a fumbling idiot. Right, I found it. This little pocket, floating pocket, was created using a toilet paper tube. And as you can see, I've flattened it. I've just sewn across the bottom, the top bit left open to make a pocket, and just made a little thumb hole there. It was covered in tissue paper from Tim Holtz, and I used some inks on there as well, distress inks. I've added a die cut, some trellis there. There's a little fussy cut bird, which I think is a Tracie Fox fussy cut, Tracie Fox label, on some cheesecloth there. Some more cheesecloth at the top of this tag with some stamping and some more inking, and some journaling space at the back. Let's see if I can get all this lot back on. I think what I did was put that in there, put that on that page, and then that could slot in there. So some more coffee dyed papers, some more book page, more page from the kit, and more there. There's another pocket there that I've created, similar to the previous ones. Little collage there, little Tracie elements, and some boo-boo tape, and some two journaling cards there from the kit, Nature's Remedies. And some more the Complete Herbalist. There's a tag here that I've created, just with some scraps. There's like a stamped label there with a very precise fussy cut flower on there. That took some, with my stubby fingers, can you imagine how difficult it was to fussy cut that? There's a tiny bit of boo-boo tape on there, and there's a description of the actual fussy cut underneath. There's just some calico fabric there stapled on, some journaling space at the back, and I've got a hidden paper clip here. It's covered in Tim Holtz fabric, again Curator, some Tracie labels on. I've added a rivet, a brass rivet there. There's a little tab excuse me, just an element I've got in my kit. I think I've embossed that, but these they were cardboard tags, tabs rather, or tags that you can, no, tags, not tabs, tags, and I think they were from Temu. There's another envelope here, again with nothing in it. I've added a couple of green shield stamps there. Can you remember them? I can. Just. I was quite young still, but I remember them. And also tucked in there is this tag, and this one I created myself as well. There's some fussy cut leaves there, possibly from a previous kit that I've used, not sure which one. I think there might be Roxy Creations, those. I think it was a journaling card, but I actually cut out the elements of the leaves. This card was created using white gesso relief, white gesso through a stencil, dried and inks added, and then when you put some water on, the inks fade off the gesso part and just leaves, you know, little shadows of the inks used there, which I thought was a neat idea. And it's an idea I've seen. I'm not sure if it was, I think it might have been Instagram, but I've no idea who it was. If you know, feel free to add in the comments. Just some die cuts there, another brass eyelet and some fibres there. Here we've got some, again, this packing paper that I used for the front of the journal. I had some left over, so I added them to the signatures. And there's just bits of coffee dye, coffee on there, and gesso. Possibly some ink as well, the darker bits. There's just a little scrap of ledger there. Some more coffee dye paper with stamp of a flower. Another page from the kit. Another book page from Reader's Digest. Another pocket here, which is from Nature's Remedies, with another little tag with some more of the scraps of threads that I have left over from sewing at the top there. Journaling on the back. Some more boo-boo tape. That coffee dyed note paper. Again, I've used a journaling card there and made it into a tab with a Tracie label, boo-boo tape, a Tim Holtz fussy cut from a stamp, it's a stamp, Tim Holtz stamp, which I fussy cut, a little die cut element there, some Tracie labels on the back with a little Tim Holtz curator element there. Some more boo-boo tape, the other side of that book page, some more stamping at the bottom there on the kit page. That's from Nature's Remedies. Here we've got another one of the pockets that we had before, the tags, interactive tags, also made into a belly band which holds this journaling card, which has a pocket and holds a tag, which that's from the kit. I've just stamped on there, added some labels from Tim Holtz, and that little pocket there is from a scrap of Edith Holden paper there. And that just goes in there and behind that giant tag. And again, this lifts up. I've got a Tracie label there, a stamped label there, little fussy cut number 2. There's a little calico behind, and that just flips up again. Down below on the pocket we have a Tracie label, which is on some grid paper, and a die cut frame with 2 little brads. Again, these fold out to reveal another journaling card with a little collage on. This little Tracie label there, I think maybe from the kit, and just some other scraps of paper. All the other papers is from Tim Holtz, the wallflower. And that just all closes up. Here we've got a scrap of ledger paper, leftover ledger paper, which I've just put into the signature there, made a sort of flip out. I've just added a little stamp of a flower there, and a little tab from papers from the kit. There's some more of that packing paper, nicely distressed and grunged. Some more coffee paper, some more book page, and the complete herb list. Some more papers from the kit, Nature's Remedies. And another book page. Here we have another tuck here, again with stamping, Tracie labels, stamped image, and a little bit of lace all sewn around, and it holds 2 tags from the kit, again with some seam binding. But yeah, I've not decorated any of the tags, I just like them as they are, and like I say, concentrated mostly on the pockets for decoration. There's some more of the packing paper there. You can see the water stains again. I just added speckles from a stamp. There's like a sort of speckle stamp that you get with the, I think it's the mini toadstools stamp set from Holtz. And it's just the faint white speckles on there. But yeah, to get that effect, like I say, all I did was a very dark coffee, you know, strong coffee that I've used on there. Dried it, added water afterwards, and that created the effect on that. Here we have a journaling card that I created myself using Love Junk Journals labels there. There's just some handmade papers and mulberry paper at the back. The tag itself needs a bit of glue. Let's get that little bit of glue on there. It was created using recycled packaging. I'm sure you don't want to know what I ate. So yeah, I covered the recycled packaging with some book page from a ready reckoner, and used inks. There's journaling space on the back. There's another one of these sort of specimen slide style pockets there, with a stamped image on some tea bag paper. A little collage on the corner with a metal numbered brad there, which I've dyed with alcohol inks. And another one of these tissue paper covering German book page, and some stamping and some inking, and again with the gold on, which is pen ink. And another one of these sort of faux tin type photos. I hope you can see them because they are quite dark. But yes, I will remember to put that link for Tracie's video there. Another book page, another stamped coffee dyed page. There's another bookmark style tag in this pocket here from the kit. Just added a little collage again. Journaling space on the back and some fibres. And some more scrap ledger pieces. Which I've done a flip out there again. In the middle of this signature again, an Edith Holden page. Yeah, with another huge journaling card. There's some little Tracie labels on there. I think that blue one is a Tim Holtz one, I think. And some more boo-boo tape. And that's on some vintage ledger from 1946 there. On that. And there's some journaling on the back. and that has a little brass leaf charm there, skeleton leaf. There's some more pull out ledger page there, some stamping and a tab, some more coffee dyed paper. We have another pockets, multi-pocket here. This pocket was an idea I got from Margareth at SevenplazaCreativecket. Quite a recent video actually. She did some, had some A4 paper which she folded to make 3 pockets. But I've made this 4 because I've done it as a tuck. So I'll show you what's behind there. That's my latest from the Grungy Tag Challenge, which was, the prompt was circles. As you can see, there's quite a few on there. But as it had a sort of field note feel to it, I thought it belonged in this journal. There's some journaling on the back, some more seam binding. So yeah, going back to this pocket, we have a pocket in the back there, which holds a journaling card, which I created myself. The background is created by myself using inks. There's gesso on there as well. There is some book page. There is a fussy cut flower from Edith Holden book, 2 Tim Holtz labels, and a little bit of boo-boo tape on there. Journaling on the back. So that's one pocket. There is also another pocket there, which I haven't put anything in. But also, this folds up to create another pocket. You could journal on there. Inside here, I've done a funny shaped tag because of the style of the pocket. But that's using Edith Holden papers again. I've just stuck that tab on the end. It helps to pull the journaling card out if you're struggling. Little cluster of labels there from Tim Holtz. There's a little bit of calico and just some journaling on the back there. But yeah, you couldn't put any other shape in there because of the size of the pocket. I'll just put that paper clip on there to hold it down. Some more book page, some more kit page, as is that one. Some more of the packing paper, some more coffee dyed paper, and here we have another interactive element. This is an element from Nature's Remedies, which I've made into a belly band, and it's a sort of double fold, which turns into a triple-sided element. The paper there is, I printed it out twice, and the paper there is actually on the back, which you can't see. And I've just created, as you can see, some pockets there, some more papers from the kit. These faux tea cards are from the kits. And some Tim Holtz labels there and stamps. Some more boo-boo tape. Because I printed it out twice, I cut out the elements that are actually printed on just to make them stand out more, and added some boo-boo tape there. And I did the same at the front there with the flower element, which I've also embossed with clear embossing powder. There's another tag, which is actually on the card from the printed second print, and some more boo-boo tape up there. That's just held together with string. Again, made into a belly band. The postcard is from the kit. I've decorated it further, adding a little bit of script page, script paper, and a little fussy cut, and a tiny bit of boo-boo tape there. There's a stamp from the kit, which I've added, an actual stamp that is from the kit, and I've added stamping for the franked element. And we have some more book page, another page from the kit, and that's the back page, which is also from the kit. And the back of the book mirrors the front. We've got another one of the lace pockets with vellum. And make that noise again. There are some labels there, mixture of Tracie and Tim Holtz. I think that one's a Tracie label. It could be a Tim Holtz one, not sure. Again, we've got 3 elements in here. There's a tag from the kit. In fact, there's 2 tags from the kit with some more seam binding on. And we have another envelope, which is also in the kit, holding another journaling card that's in the kit. And I just added a little pull label there with some Tim Holtz stamping. And I just signed it there. And that, my friends, is the completed journal. So I hope you've enjoyed the flip through. But yeah, I also don't have an Etsy shop anymore. If anyone is interested in purchasing any of my journals, I mean, you can see the flip throughs. The ones that are sold are marked as sold on my YouTube channel, on this channel. But if you are interested in any of my journals, feel free to message me. I've got my email address will be down below, or you could message me on Instagram, whichever you prefer, and we'll have a chat. You can, you know, they are for sale. So like I say, if you'd like one, feel free to message me. So that's it for this flip through. I hope you've enjoyed that. My next video will probably be the next grungy tag challenge one, which will be next month in May. So that'll be a definite video, probably in the first week or so, first or second week of May. I don't think there'll be anything else that I'll be showing you this month, but you never know. But the May one is definite. And I will be creating another journal at some point. I don't know yet what I'm going to be doing. But again, you will see that in due course. I mean, I never not making a journal. I just don't know what theme the next one's going to be yet. So yeah, that's my nature themed journal, field notes journal, botanical journal. I think, yeah, probably just botanical journal we'll call it. And I shall see you next time. Bye for now.